Now, this little story that you might have caught up today about the M2. Now, anyone who's lived in the northwest for a long time will tell you what a drama the M2 has been in its life. M7's fantastic. Love the M7. But you've got this issue now of the speed trap, and it is where it's 90 k's an hour. That's on the M2 between the M7 and Windsor Road, which is currently 90. Now, they are thinking about, let's hope they do, they're thinking about it, they're going to do it. They increase it to 100k so it's more consistent. And the state Liberal MP for Londonderry, Bart Bassett, has called it very inconsistent speed zones, effectively a speed trap. Because all the police have got to do is sit there and you'll get everyone doing 10k's over the speed limit. Well, the former mayor of the Baulkham Hills Shire Council, who coincidentally is now the CEO of Community Transport Association, so very much associated with transport and roadways, is Sonya Phillips. I thought I'd have a yarn to her. Hi, Sonya.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm good. You?
To you? Oh, I'm fantastic. To you and your listeners, a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and you as well. The M2, though it was needed, was never very well thought out from the beginning, was it?
No, it wasn't. I mean, I have to say I was mayor, Tim, when it was being constructed, and we all thought it was going to be the panacea to everyone's problems. But now, as you say, we've got these inconsistent speed limits, and we've also got these increasing tolls. Every time you turn around, they've gone up.
Yeah, that's right.
And I use that part, I have to say, where it goes from 100 to 90 and then to 100. And every morning there are police just parked there going zap, 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 another one.
Yep.
You know, they're doing their job, but you must have consistent speed limits. I mean, it's nonsense not to.
Making a fortune. And not only that, I mean, they had to revisit the M2 and actually make it 3 lanes both sides, which they should have bloody done in the first place. I mean, it really does burn my wick, I have to say.
Well, I guess they've got to, the pollies have got to fight for it in Cabinet and Budget and Treasury and all of that. But some vision is often very, very helpful. And putting my other hat on, Tim, as you introduced me, my members in their community transport roles have to take people to medical appointments, etc.
Absolutely.
There is absolutely no way that they could be using the M2 or the M7 for that matter because of the cost. They keep going up, and that just keeps adding to elderly, disabled and frail people's costs.
That's a very good point, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, because your drivers would be using, if they could afford it, all of these wonderful motorways that we've got, but if you use them 2 or 3 times a day, say, you're talking $100, $150 a week, which your organisation and the drivers especially just can't afford.
Well, they can't. And not only that, until the train arrives out there, putting my other hat on, the community hat, you're paying these enormous tolls after you pay tax. So it's a bit of double dipping there along the way. Yeah. And then you sort of get into the city and it grinds to a halt. So, you know, we just need the infrastructure, and good on the Federal Treasurer saying, look, we're going to borrow this money and get the infrastructure because it's about time. We're a global city and we need better infrastructure, consistent speed limits and not so expensive tolls. Yeah,
well, it's just dopey. The M2, it's just dopey to go from 90 to 100. And look, there were sections of it just before it officially opened and you could use the 100, where it went from 100 to 80, then back to 100. Yes. Now, I mean, it's the coppers, I know they're just doing their job, but it's just a no-brainer. They just sit there, it's like a cash register. Ping, 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 ping.
Ching. That's it. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I really feel, because a lot of our volunteers are just that. They are volunteers that take people to their appointments. They can't afford to
of course not. No.
So they have to track through the back streets, through the rat run, and that takes extra time. You know, it's a bit of a knock-on effect certainly for the service that I'm the CEO of. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, we might talk about it again. It's a holistic approach needed to all of this because the tolls are unaffordable for a lot of people when everything else is going up, and just a bit of consistency. We're not advocating anyone's speed, just some consistency with speed limits, and you know, maybe people might have a better attitude towards all of that. Eh?
Well, you see so many nose to tail.
You sure do.
Suddenly he's going, bang, oh, I've got to be doing 90, I was just doing 100, you know, and then somebody's looking to merge, they turn around and they're in the boot of the car in front of them. I think for safety as well.
Yeah, that's it. We're all human, aren't we? Merry Christmas.
We are. And thank you so much, Tim, and to you and your listeners again. Bye now.
Good to talk to you. Bye-bye. That's Sonya Phillips, who was the mayor of the Baulkham Hills Shire Council at the time of the M2, and never well thought out. It should have been 3 lanes both ways from the beginning. So then you've got to go back and revisit it, spend another X billion dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars on it when it should have been done properly in the first place. And the inconsistent speed limits, how long do we talk about that? How often do we talk about that? Not just the M2, I mean everywhere. 40 to 50, back to 60 to 70, back to 80, back to 40, school zone. Tough, 4-1.